Explained by the Billy Meier contacts, Barney and Betty Hill.
Contact Report 037.
For quite some time so far unknown to us, intelligences have been visiting the Earth. It was not until 1961 that we became aware of them, when they seized 2 Earth humans for study purposes, brought them into their spaceship, and subjected them to a physical-chemical analysis. It was on the 19th of September, 1961, in the mountains of New Hampshire in the USA during the nighttime, when 2 Earth humans named Betty Hill and Barney Hill, a couple, encountered a spaceship of extraterrestrial origin. By means of swinging waves paralyzers, the intelligences put their vehicle, an automobile, out of order and brought it to a standstill. At the same time, the 2 were put into deep hypnosis by telenotic powers. As a result, their consciousness was paralyzed, whereby the memory conscious was exposed to a blockade. However, I have already explained this to you earlier on. The purpose of this procedure of the intelligences had no malicious forms whatsoever, because their aspirations lay only in the exploring of the Earth human life form. So they seized the 2 Earth humans for the period of 127 minutes, brought them into their spaceship, and subjected them very precisely to their tests and analyses, whereby they also took various samples from the 2, such as a few drops of blood, male semen, hair, saliva, fingernails, and skin. However, samples were also taken of shoes and clothes, but also of various other things that were of importance for the analysis by the intelligences. Everything was registered by them very precisely and radiophotographically recorded.
I am not familiar with that term. After all, what is radiophotography? I have never heard of it before.
This is an apparatus, similar to your 35mm film cameras, by means of which results of physical-chemical analysis can be recorded and photographed in terms of radio swinging waves, whereby the swinging waves directly transform into a creation of symbols due to apparatus-related processes in the recording filter. After the analysis of the 2 Earth humans, they were brought back into their vehicle, which was freed from the paralysis radiation and released. The deep hypnosis was dissolved in the 2, and they continued to drive on without any recollection of the analysis time. They had not the slightest memory of it. Not until later years did they solve the mystery of this event, when they were able to reveal their subconscious knowledge through hypnosis.
I see. But why did you wait until these days before dealing with this matter?
A new incident, about which I am unfortunately not allowed to talk, has only now necessitated this. Our examinations in the year 1961 revealed that there was nothing to fear from these space-traveling intelligences. They are humanoid in form and in fact only did research. Their forms are absolutely human, though their body dimensions are somewhat different from ours. Their size varies between 126 and 163 centimeters.
That is interesting. However, now where do they actually come from? What kind of spaceships do they have, and how do they cope with our atmosphere, etc.?
They originate from the planetary and star system Zeta Reticuli, as I already explained to you. This system is located at an average distance of 37 light-years from the Earth. Their spacecrafts are similar to our beam ships and are extremely well-equipped and very suitable for space travel. The atmosphere of their home world is very similar to the earthly atmosphere, so that they can breathe it without great difficulties. However, they are provided with close-fitting filter suits, which offer them protection in a number of respects. To the human beings of Earth, I would say that they are similar to the suits given to the fantasy figures Batman and Superman in the comics, except that in this case the face and the whole head are completely wrapped in the suit, whereby the area around the eyes is secured by viewing and protective glasses built into and integrated into the suit. No doubt you are familiar with the fantasy films of French production about a criminal named Fantomas. If you look at this fantasy figure and replace its eye area with dark protective lenses, you have a pretty good representation of the Zeta Reticuli intelligences in their suits.
Good, but now I would still be interested to hear whether there is anything to fear from the aforementioned intelligences.
They are peaceful humanoids. Of course, they differ from us only in their anatomy, as well as in their size and skin color.
Contact Report 038.
Betty Hill, USA, was forcibly contacted. Barney Hill, USA, was also forcibly contacted.
Contact Report 246.
Then a question about the Hills in the USA, which had been abducted by life forms of extraterrestrial origin, namely by human beings from the area of the stars Zeta Reticuli, 37 light-years away. I believe that you told me at the time that this was correct.
Yes. This forced contact is also the origin of the nonsensical stories and hysteria about the little grays, which have nothing to do with the truth in any way. The fear and hysteria and the imaginative stories about the little grays correspond to a well-managed false propaganda to put certain things in a false light on the one hand, and to conceal certain events and machinations on the other.
What is certain is that there are inhabited planets in the area of Zeta Reticuli, planets inhabited by humans. Does this apply to both Zeta Reticuli 1 and Zeta Reticuli 2?
This is true, but we do not maintain any contacts with the local inhabitants, who are not even aware of our existence, which we have been observing for several millennia. However, our interests do not lie in establishing contact with the ways of life of those areas, since they do not yet possess certain forms of development that would be necessary for establishing contact.
Probably in reference to your directives?
That's right.
Contact Report 424.
What has to be said in respect to the married couple Hill, and all other persons who were allegedly abducted or even medically harmed, or who supposedly had implants implanted, and who under hypnosis exposed these occurrences is that these occurrences have never happened, and are nothing but illusions, imagination, delusions and deliberate lies, as well as also schizophrenic illusionary products and disturbances of consciousness brought forth through the interference of electromagnetic fields of the earth, through which unrealities, unreal happenings, as well as unreal memories and unreal experiences are caused, but also unreal pain, fear, and unreal perceptions, and so forth. The disrupted electromagnetic fields of the earth have been the cause of the untrue memories of the Hills. All these factors will become or could be knowingly or unknowingly manipulated, which means that the hypnotized describe their unreal happenings and unrealities, etc., as reality, or that liars and deceivers are able to maintain their deliberate lies and deceit under hypnosis. Hypnosis, namely, is in no means capable of finding out the truth in such or other cases.